Yo, Coco Gauff just went off in her Australian Open first-round match against Kamilla Rakhimova, breaking 4 records in one go. We're talking 75 career Grand Slam wins, 22 straight victories against non-top 50 players at majors, a 23-4 first-round record, and her 7th consecutive Australian Open appearance, all at just 21 years old. The stats are wild, no doubt, but the serving struggles are still very real and causing some drama on the court. Now here's the question for you. What's more impressive, 75 Grand Slam wins at 21 or that 22-match streak against lower-ranked opponents? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
And also a little bit of a wingspan as well from Gauff.
All right, let's break it down. Coco Gauff kicked off her 2026 Australian Open campaign with a 6-2, 6-3 win over Kamilla Rakhimova. On paper, the score looks routine, but the match was far from simple. Yes, Gauff dominated from the baseline, showing off insane court coverage and defensive skills. Yes, she won in straight sets, but she also served 3 double faults in her opening service game, couldn't serve out the match at 5-2 in the second, and had to break Rakhimova 6 times just to close it out. That's peak Coco Gauff right now, dominant in almost every aspect while still wrestling with serving demons that refuse to disappear no matter how much work she puts in. Now the records. 75 career Grand Slam wins at 21 years old is absolutely insane. To put that in perspective, most players don't hit 75 match wins at majors in their entire careers, yet Gauff has done it before turning 22. She's been competing at the highest level since she was a teenager, and the wins just keep stacking. The consistency is what stands out. She's not just showing up, she's handling business in every match she's supposed to win. That 22-match streak against non-top 50 opponents at Grand Slams proves it. When Gauff faces lower-ranked players, she doesn't take anything lightly. Her 23-4 first-round record at majors is equally ridiculous, an 85% win rate where nerves and rust can cause upsets. She's learned how to navigate first-round jitters better than almost anyone. Just playing her game and trusting her level is enough. And her 7th consecutive Australian Open appearance at 21. That's longevity few players her age can claim. 7 straight years of Grand Slam consistency. But let's talk about the serve, her biggest ongoing struggle. The double faults are still there, even after bringing in biomechanics specialist Gavin McMillan to rebuild her motion. Her first action on Rod Laver Arena this year was a 1-point slam event where she served straight into the net, not barely missing, just dumped it, instantly eliminated. Then in the match, she opened with 3 double faults in her first service game, a start that could derail most players mentally. But Gauff held serve anyway, proving she can survive even when her serve betrays her. Her other weapons? Absolute elite. The forehand, once a liability, is now a weapon. More pace, more spin, more confidence. Her backhand has always been world-class, and her defensive skills and court coverage are unmatched. She tracks down shots that should be winners and turns defense into offense better than anyone on tour. Against Rakhimova, Gauff's baseline dominance was on full display. She completely outmatched the Uzbek player, using speed and shot selection to dictate rallies. Rakhimova, switching from Russia to Uzbekistan this year, simply didn't have the firepower or consistency to hang once the rallies extended. This match is a perfect example of why Gauff is one of the best young players in women's tennis today. Coco Gauff's ability to pick her moments is what sets her apart from other defensive players. She doesn't just retrieve balls and hope her opponent makes a mistake. She waits for the perfect opportunity, steps inside the baseline, and seizes control of the point. That aggressive mindset within a defensive framework makes her incredibly tough to beat. The match could have ended at 5-2 in the second when Gauff served it, but the serving struggles resurfaced. Rakhimova broke back, making it 5-3, and for a brief moment, frustration was visible on Gauff's face, another service game falling apart at a critical time. Yet her mental toughness shone through. She immediately broke Rakhimova's serve for the sixth time to close out the match, 6-3. No panic, no spiral, just a quick reset and finishing the job. That's championship mentality. In her post-match interview, Gauff was candid about handling first-round nerves and expectations. She explained that she's lost in the first rounds before and has always bounced back, so she avoids putting unnecessary pressure on herself early in tournaments. At this point, she said, she's focused on winning the tournament, so whether she loses in the first round or the final, the satisfaction comes from competing for the title. It's an interesting philosophy. Anything less than winning the championship carries the same emotional weight for her, whether it's an early round loss or a final. This is the mindset of someone who has already won Grand Slams and knows what it takes. She's not content with making the quarterfinals and calling it a success. She's here to win it all. The past 5 months have been a fascinating period of development for Gauff. After her serve collapsed during the summer, she made the bold move to part ways with coach Matt Daly and bring in Gavin McMillan to completely rebuild her serve. She did this right before the U.S. Open, a bold decision since most players would wait for the off-season, but Gauff couldn't afford to wait. The serve needed fixing immediately. Over the past 5 months, she's remodeled the entire motion to make it smoother and more reliable. The results have been mixed, sometimes effortless and clean, other times, like today's opening service game, a complete disaster. The inconsistency is frustrating because glimpses of what the serve could become are visible, but it's not yet reliable. The upside is that Gauff has enough other weapons in her game to win matches even when her serve struggles. The downside is that against the very best players, serving becomes critical. You can't give away free points with double faults against the likes of Aryanya Sabalenka or Iga Swiatek, who will punish mistakes mercilessly. Her next opponent is Olga Danilovic, who just defeated Venus Williams in the first round. Danilovic is solid and capable of causing trouble, but she's not in Gauff's tier. This should be another match where Gauff's baseline dominance carries her through, even if the serve continues to be a work in progress. The real test will come if Gauff advances deep into the tournament and faces top 10 opponents. Can she win a Grand Slam with a serve that's still inconsistent? She did it in the French Open last year, so it's clearly possible, but Melbourne's faster hard courts place a bigger premium on serving than Roland Garros' slower clay. The serve becomes even more crucial here in Melbourne. One thing that stood out in Gauff's post-match comments was her laser focus on winning the tournament, not just advancing round by round. That's the mindset shift that comes with having already won majors. You're no longer satisfied with deep runs or making the semifinals. You want the title, period. Everything else feels incomplete. That mentality is both a blessing and a curse. It keeps her motivated and hungry, always pushing for more, but it also adds pressure, making losses feel heavier than they should. Losing in the fourth round to a top player should feel different than losing in the first round to someone outside the top 100. But for Gauff, both represent falling short of the ultimate goal. The records she set in this first-round match are staggering and highlight just how much she's accomplished at such a young age. 75 Grand Slam wins before turning 22 put her in elite historical company. A 22-match winning streak against non-top 50 opponents at majors shows her consistency and professionalism. A 23-4 first-round record proves her mental toughness in moments where many players crumble. And 7 consecutive Australian Open appearances at just 21? That speaks to sustained excellence over time. Gauff is not a one-season wonder. Her serving struggles are frustrating because everything else in her game is so polished. Her footwork is elite, shot selection is smart, court coverage is unmatched, and her mental game is strong. If she could just find consistency on serve, she'd be nearly unbeatable. But tennis isn't perfect. Every great player has weaknesses. What's encouraging is that Gauff is addressing hers head-on. She brought in a specialist, rebuilt her motion, and is putting in the work.
The results aren't fully there yet, but the process is sound. With repetition and fine-tuning, her serve should become reliable. The Australian Open represents a massive opportunity for her. She's never won this tournament, never made the final. Her best result here is a semifinal. If she strings together 2 strong weeks, avoids top seeds until later rounds, and finds some serving consistency, she absolutely has a shot at the title. The draw will matter, the matchups will matter, but most importantly, whether her serve holds up under pressure will matter. Gauff just made history with 4 records in one match, but the serving issues remain a concern. If you believe she can win the Australian Open despite her serve, smash that like button. If you think the double faults will catch up to her against elite competition, hit subscribe and predict when she falls.